Good guys, welcome back to Behind the Dugouts for your latest transfer news video. And we knew this week was going to get hectic. We knew the news was going to be coming out of every orifice. Every journo will be coming out of their cave to drop the breaking news. And it might have even started a bit of beef between Fab and David Ornstein. And of course, Chelsea just have to be at the forefront. We have to be the centre of attention. And we've had some news drop that has basically just thrown the last 3 weeks in the Xavi Simons deal into hot water. We don't know who's coming, we don't know who's going, or who we are actually going to sign. And that's all been done with one name. We've got the latest on Fermin Lopez to Chelsea, some more updates on Nicholas Jackson and Bayern, as well as some updates on Axel Disasi to Bournemouth. Before we get into that, guys, if you are enjoying this content, please smash up that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit the subscribe button and join me behind the dugouts. And don't forget, ding dong on that save the bell because you don't want to miss a thing. Now that the pleasantry's out the way, let's get into it. This is the latest on Fermin Lopez to Chelsea. David Ornstein reports Chelsea are evaluating a possibility of a move for Fermin Lopez. No contact yet with Barcelona, but Chelsea speaking to the 22-year-old attacking midfielder's camp as an option explored in case of exits and given Barcelona's depth in the Spain's international position. Now, since David Ornstein had dropped this bombshell for us, Fabrizio has come out with a video, and this is where the beef has sort of started, basically saying, calm yourselves down, ain't nothing happening on the Fermin Lopez front, no approach has been made, and there's nothing to talk about at the moment. That's definitely since changed, and we did actually cover this extensively on a stream last night over on the Blue Lounge with myself, the Blue Lounge, the Stamford Sink, and Blue Clouds Media. So definitely head over there, take a watch of the stream. You'll get to see the video for yourself, make your assumptions and your judgments, and definitely go check those three guys out. Great footballing content as well. Who doesn't love more Chelsea? But since that video from Fabrizio, we've had more updates on Fermin Lopez. So this is more on the details, and looks like Chelsea have actually made contact with him. This is the latest. Sources close to Fermin indicate he is seriously considering Chelsea. He needs to decide soon. Yeah, so it looks like we have made approach to Fermin Lopez and his camp and presented a potential offer to the player, which is now under consideration by him. No club-to-club talks yet, and that won't take place until there is news from Lopez if he is interested in the project, if he's interested in what's on offer. But it does beg the question, what is happening with Xavi Simons? We've had the same news being spewed out over the last few weeks that he is the priority target. It's almost there. We just got to sell Nkunku and then this deal can be done. And I still think that's going to be the case whether we go for Fermin Lopez, that we're still going to need to shift on Nkunku. But there are a few factors which making the deal for Fermin Lopez more achievable than that of Xavi Simons. And that one of them being the price. Xavi Simons is looking to be around 60 to 70 million euros. Fermin Lopez apparently is going to be 50 million euros. So this is another market opportunity that the club are looking at. I don't know if because Leipzig are playing hardball and they don't want to take Nkunku on a permanent, they want to take him on a loan, and Chelsea are sort of getting to the point where they don't see this happening now and they're going to look for an alternative option, because I do believe that they do want to bring in another 10. Whether that's going to be Xavi Simons or now potentially Fermin Lopez, only time will tell. But there is another way to look at it. Are Chelsea just using Fermin Lopez as a way to push Leipzig to make this deal happen faster? Because if Leipzig now see that we have another option and we are pursuing another option, and they could potentially lose out on the sale of Xavi Simons, lose out on the funds to go and buy a replacement, this could put them in a bit of difficulty. So they may now try and step up the approach and try and get this deal done and over the line for Nkunku so we can sort of finish with the Xavi Simons deal. It'd be interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts on this one in the comments below. If you had a choice, who would you take? Xavi Simons or Fermin Lopez? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Just drop it in the comments below. Now, Nicholas Jackson, one of Chelsea's strikers, the want-away striker at the moment, wants to find a new club, and there is potential move to Bayern Munich on the cards. This is the latest on Nicholas Jackson and Bayern Munich. Bayern made club-to-club contact with Chelsea on Monday for Nicholas Jackson to discuss a formula. Could be a loan plus obligation. Newcastle keep calling and calling too. Jackson could be the big bomb in the next days of the market. It's coming from Fabrizio. Now, look, Jackson clearly has a lot of suitors. There are a lot of clubs that would definitely take Jackson on, be that Premier League or overseas. We've had a few Premier League clubs, Newcastle, Aston Villa, loads of overseas clubs, Bayern in this instant. So he's got suitors. I would prefer to keep Jackson so he can compete. We have those three strikers, but he doesn't want to stay and he wants to make the move, doesn't want to compete. So again, I'm happy for him to leave. Chelsea want the permanent. And I think if it's going to be to a club like Bayern, we're not going to get a permanent. It's only going to be a loan. They're saying maybe an obligation. I think Chelsea will make it important that it is an obligation because they want to get him off the books next summer and not have him come back and then try again to try and shift him on. So I think if it's to Bayern, it's going to be a loan. But I would definitely say keep your eye on Newcastle. They've just had two bids rejected for Strand Larson of Wolves, one going up to £55 million. So they're not far away from getting to the Nicholas Jackson asking price. And I think if they got to around 60, 65 million, Chelsea would definitely take that. So keep an eye on Newcastle. We know they will have the funds because if they bring a striker, Isak will be out that door faster than you can blink. Guarantee on that one. Now, another player that could be on his way out the door is Axel Disasi. This is the latest on Axel Disasi to Bournemouth. Bournemouth are now in advanced talks to sign Axel Disasi as official direct contact with Chelsea has been made. Clubs negotiating on a final formula, but Disasi clear top target for Bournemouth and discussions underway. Bournemouth confident to make it happen. Disasi to Bournemouth, wouldn't say no. He's another one of those bomb squad players that we just got to get out the door. The list is still quite long with players that need to make the move. Ben Chilwell, Sterling. There's loads on the list that need to move, that there is no future at the club. Although there has been a little bit talk of Ben Chilwell potentially be reintegrated to help cover on that left side if Joel Hatto will move into the centre-back role. But that, it's a rumour. There's nothing concrete in that at the moment. If it's not the case, these players do need to make the move. So Disasi to Bournemouth, I would definitely not say no. I think it's a good move for both club and player. Bournemouth have lost a lot of defenders this summer. You've got Kirkes to Liverpool, Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid. So they definitely need to bolster up their defensive unit. And how much we'll get for Disasi, I'm not too sure. Probably in the range of around 25 to 30 million at max. The wages aren't going to be too high, so I don't see any issues with personal terms being agreed between Disasi and Bournemouth. So all in all, I think this one will go through. I don't think it will be, to the wire. It will be done in the next few days. And yeah, wish him all the best. Never really quite worked out at Chelsea. I still remember the first goal that he scored, and he threw himself into the crowd. He had a lot of passion. That's one thing I have to say about Axel Disasi. He definitely showed an incredible amount of passion, just didn't quite fit at Chelsea's, but wish him all the best. Now, just to finish this video, I wanted to give you a little update on Cole Palmer. As we know, he picked up an injury in the warm-up of the West Ham game. There has been some new news coming out regarding the injury and whether he will be available this weekend versus Fulham. This is the latest on Palmer. Cole Palmer underwent a scan on his groin today with positive results, better than first feared. Nothing serious showed up, but Chelsea will be cautious and Fulham could come too soon. I'll be honest, once he picked up that injury at West Ham, I didn't expect Palmer to return until after the international break. We've seen how the club have managed players with injuries in the likes of Reece James and Romeo Lavia. They do not want to rush players back in fear that the injury may reoccur or they may potentially make it worse. So they're not going to do that with Cole Palmer. Definitely not with Cole Palmer. So I don't expect him to play for us until after the international break. Whether he goes with England is very doubtful. I think if he hasn't played for us for Fulham and he's still not training at the moment, I think going away with England for the international break is probably a no-go as well. But the club will be in communication with Thomas Tuchel on that to decide what is the best move for Cole. But I do think after the international break, he will be back playing for us and will be fit and ready. But for now, guys, that is all from me. As I mentioned, if you are enjoying that content, please smash up that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe to the channel. But for now, guys, take care of yourselves and I will catch you in the next one.